You're not allowed past it. That's a limiter. A lot of preachers need a limiter on their microphone because preachers, they'll talk and talk and then they'll yell, and you've all heard it. The microphone distorts and it's, that sounds awful. Well, you need to put a limiter in between the microphone and people's ears so that when that preacher gets going, they don't distort. And a limiter would do that. Good application for a limiter. A compressor, this would be a compressor turned all the way hard. Just compress it till it's flat. What we could do though is, let's say the ratio is like 50%, or what would that be? Would that be 2:1? I don't know. What it's going to do is, instead of what your sound used to be, it's going to cut that in half. Now, you have a choice in between like here and here. This is your attack. You might have an attack knob on your compressor or on your model of a compressor. The attack means how quickly do you turn down the signal. And then release means the opposite. Over here, how quickly does it let go? So you can get a very natural shape, but basically what this means is with a compressor, when you hit the sound, it can go hush and it'll squish you right away, or it will slowly compress you. So it's like the effect lets you jump up here, and then it brings you down into what the ratio will be. So if my attack is turned down, that's going to let the attack through, and I'm going to look like I did, and then it's going to bring me into the compressed sound. Or, if I'm limiting, the flat sound down here. And then release does the opposite. It lets your sound go. So you can squish, and then let it go back to what it was going to be. So here's what compression is good for. It's good to make your notes last longer. So in a riff like this, here's what was I just playing? From the Inside Out. I'm turning the ratio down on the Blue Comp. On here it's called Blue Comp. That's the Boss compressor that I own, the real one of. I'm turning the sustain way down, so I've only got a little bit of the sustain bar is just a little bit black, and it sounds like this. Okay, so it's hitting my sound, making my sound smaller, but then it turns me up. In effect, what it's doing is it turns me up at the end of the sound and makes my sound last longer. So here's compression, and then I'm going to go with, I'm going to say tube drive, and I'm going to turn the drive way down. Okay, so there's a lot of drive. There's a little bit of drive. You hear it just crackling a little bit. That's good. That's good. Okay, then I'm going to go in the middle here, take one of these into a single coil. I want a little more drive than that. Okay, right there. I've got a warm sound that's not, it's not ugly, it's just, the dirt on there is just giving me a little bit of sizzle, and the compression is what's making my notes last longer. For a lot of worship tones, a lot of these worship songs, the compression is what we're looking for. Now, here's something to be guarded against. Anything digital is going to compress you. So you might not need a compression model thrown on there already. You might just plug in and find that you've got enough sustain to get the job done. I like throwing the compression on there for clean things like this, especially if I'm single coil. It warms it out. It makes it more subtle. It's not ba 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 ba. The attack of your sound, it's like claws. It's attack, like it sounds. And so when you pluck the string, there's something harsh about it. And that's part of the instrument. Compression kind of takes the claws out a little bit. Warms it up. Okay? Now, the other thing in worship the other big effect that everybody needs to be really well acquainted with is delay. And delay is a hard thing to figure out or nail down. Delay, we're modeling an effects box here. We want, for a song like that, I like something really warm. So I'm going to go with what they call analog delay. Other guys like the digital delay copy. Here's an example of digital delay versus analog. So I'm going to set it up. I'm going to do a dotted eighth, which is what this song calls for, Inside Out. I'm doing a dotted eighth, and then I'm going to try and just eyeball it here. Want lots of feedback. Okay, so there's a good 4 repeats in there. So let's see how this sounds. Nothing wrong with that. It's good. Here's my beef with digital delay. It is an exact copy. Kind of sounds like POD to me. It sounds so clean and precise. It's almost not useful to me, in my taste. Other guys love this. One of my friends this morning at church, he did this song, and his delay was so obviously a digital delay sound, and that was his style. So this could be useful to some people. Here's what I'd guard against, is getting the delays louder than the original sound, so that it sounds like this. I'm starting to dangerously bury the point. The point of the riff should be the notes that you're playing. Delay is there to help you, not always make you sound like Sigur Rós. I'm just saying. Here's what I like on here. Here is the just analog delay, analog echo. Feedback, up, mix, up. Okay. Analog echo is not an exact copy. It's like a black and white picture. It muddles it a little bit. There's lots of character on there. I've got EQ here. I'm going to brighten it up. Not bad. Okay, so here's what this sounds like with analog echo. Here's the compression and drive. It just helps. Okay, so they need to help. That is a criteria that I think works for anybody, no matter what your taste is. All of these effects need to help you not just sound like Hillsong United, not just sound like Desperation Band or whatever. It's to help the song. There's a saying that everybody uses, the song is king. I think you can take that and apply that here. Say, what helps the song? What helps communicate the point? And so, two ideas. Find that middle ground on the gain. And if you need to bring in like an effect that is an overdrive pedal, find the most mild one there is. A lot of the effects where you're modeling an amp, I would say most of them err on one side or the other. And you bring up the gain a little bit, and it doesn't really bring you to the middle. It kind of skips the middle sometimes. So this is just a challenge I'm throwing out there to you guys, not to just download a patch, but go ahead and be scientific about it. Get in there. If you're a guitar player, you're a scientist, and you need to know your gear. You need to know the aspects of it. It's like algebra, geometry, all this stuff. It's like you need to have it down as a science in your brain. You can be very left brain about it, you can be very right brain about it, however you process. So this, I hope to be the first of many useful and helpful videos. If you guys have questions, you can ask me. I'll be happy to try and make videos that explain some things about how I approach digital effects and tones in worship. So, until next time, Tipsy's Tips, chadtips.com. There's a Facebook group I started where I'd love to do like discussion boards and things like that. It's called Tipsy's Tips. TIPPSY''S''TIPS. So, join me on there. You're free to join the group, and we'll just glorify the Lord. All right, be blessed.